Hey everybody, welcome back to Valhalla Acres. Today is the 28th of January. It's a little bit windy today, but that's okay. Um, we are going to be planting onions today from seed. So we're going to start our onions from seed this year. We're going to see how this goes. But I'm going to go through a couple things that we do with anything that we start with from seed. So if you are planting onions from seed, now is the time to get them started. One thing that we're going to go over today is how to make an irregular potting mix into seed starting soil. So seed starting soil is a little bit finer texture, and so it's easier for the seeds to work their way to the top. So today we're going to plant onions, and I'm going to show you how you can take a regular potting mix and make it a seed starting mix, and it's super easy. So the best way to do this I have found is to have like a little sifter. So this sifter is made out of some like 1x3, whatever. It doesn't matter. And it has this 1/4-inch hardware cloth on it, and it's just stapled on. Okay, and then I have it over my wheelbarrow at an angle because it'll fall in otherwise. And then you just take your bag of potting mix and you pour it in. And then you're gonna help it work its way through. Just gonna run your hand on it and work it through because you want the smaller stuff to fall through. So like we have some of this larger stuff. That's not good for starting seeds. This is fine for a plant that's already established. But so we just work this a minute to sift that all through. I did pick it up and shake it to help. But as you can see, we have some of this much larger stuff here. So I'm just gonna take this and toss it into the flower bed that's behind me. And then I'm going to take some 6-packs that have soil in them still, but the plants have either died or they didn't germinate. I'm going to throw them in here and sift them too. See, we have this nice, fine soil here now. All right, farm hand Trajan here helping me dump out the 6-packs onto the screen. And we're just going to rub them in here and break them up. These are ones that have already been sifted and stuff. But we want to break them up some more. We have it all already sifted, and we're going to just get it wet. So we have it in a wheelbarrow. We spray the top part. We're going to come in and see, look, all that dry stuff. It's time to get your hands dirty. And you're going to do this until it's not sopping wet. It's damp. It'll help so much with getting the seeds because it's always such a pain to try to rehydrate dirt so that the seed is getting adequate moisture. So we're going to go ahead and just get it damp. After we've kneaded this all together like bread, we're going to take a handful, squeeze it, and we want it to just do that, but still fall apart. Check it out. Get a little dirt under those nails. Surprises in our greenhouse like this. Giant black widow that's creeping me out. That's okay. I got a tough hubby. He's going to dispatch her for me. Okay, so we have these trays. We have to cut them down just a little bit, but they have these nice cells. Since there's so many of them, I'm only going to plant one onion seed, and that's okay. Usually you want to plant like 2 just in case one doesn't germinate. But now that we have our soil all nice and hydrated, we're going to rub this in, and we're going to pack it in. All right, so I filled up my tray, and then I was poking it individually, and I thought, work smarter, not harder, Chantel. And so I grabbed the other tray and I pressed it in. So the back of my onion packet says to surface plant or barely cover. So I'm going to put 1 seed in each one, and then I'm just going to sprinkle dirt on top of it. So the seeds for onions look like this, and they're very small. So I poured them in a bowl so they're easier to grab. And then we just come over, I'm going to drop it in here. And like I said, I'm only going to do one at a time. I have plenty of cells to do that. And then I'm going to sprinkle dirt over the top of the whole tray when I'm done. Welcome to the inside of our greenhouse right now. I'm getting ready to put my onions over here on these heat mats, and I'm going to put humidomes on top of them. So they're all planted and ready, but here is our greenhouse. It's a little like stagnant right now just because like there hasn't been a whole lot of sunlight. But as you can see, we have some, that's a volunteer tomato. We have pepper plants, chamomile, my poor little Avocado trees got a little frozen before we got that heater in here. We have fig trees, guavas. There's some tomatoes over here behind me. And a lot of dead stuff. But I'm going to get my onions put over here. But I also want to talk about what we did on inside our greenhouse. So it's nice and toasty warm in here right now. We put plastic up on the roof and over on this wall because our prevailing wind comes from this side. So we just put plastic and we stapled it in, and this creates a dead air space. Also, you can see those lighter holes. We had a horrible hailstorm last summer and it poked holes in our roof. So the light, that's what the sun's shining through just because of the space, and then that is the actual, that's the actual hole through this polycarbonate paneling that we put on the roof. But I'm getting ready. There's a tray of onions right there. I'm going to put all 3 up there. I'm going to put their humidomes on them, maybe give them a little bit of water. I'm going to bottom water them. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about the different types of onions and what you should grow in your area. The humidomes are on. My onions are labeled. They're ready to go. All right, we're back inside. And I didn't see any more black widow spiders. My hair is crazy because of the wind. I did get to wash my face to get dust off, but I still have dirt in my eyes. So let's talk about different types of onions. There are 3 main kinds of onions that people will be like, well, what kind do I plant in my area? There are long day, intermediate day, and short day. Watch, look at this next graphic. So as you can tell, there's some lines that kind of go back and forth there. And here in northeastern Arizona, we would be intermediate or short day. So that means that we don't get a whole lot of summer sunshine. And I know you think, that can't be right. But you think like Alaska and other places further up north that end up having like the sun doesn't go down for a while, especially at the summer solstice. So they have long day. They need to grow long day onions there. The onion bulb itself is what needs so many hours of sunlight to turn into that nice onion bulb. And you'll just have to look at your area where you are and see what you're considered. Now, most seed packets should tell you on the back if they're like an intermediate, long day, or short day onion. They don't always do that. It's real easy just to be like, oh, well, you know, like we would love to grow like Walla Walla onions here, but they're a long day, intermediate, long day onion, and it just won't work here. So check out your seed packet on the back. If it doesn't say that, a quick Google search will tell you that. Or you can check like with Johnny's, that's where I got that map. Or any other seed company should be able to tell you like your area and what kind of onion fits into those categories. I will also link in here a podcast that I listen to. They talk all about growing onions. I think it's a lot along the same lines of what we just did here. And they talk about the other ways that you can grow onions, where you can get the little onion bulbs or little onion sets, and how to take care of them. So my onions are obviously going to take a few days to germinate, which means that they sprout. And when they get about a couple inches tall, I'm going to give them a bit of a haircut. And you know what? I can use those as like a green onion application or a chive, and it'll be delicious, I think. But yes, I will include a link for a podcast called Homestead Education, and I love these ladies. I follow them on Instagram, both of them, and they just want to share their knowledge, much like I do. So I hope you all have fun and you figure out the best way to grow onions for you if you want to grow onions, and I will see you next time.